right, Ewelina, let's take a look at this newest set of essays, pollution, why, and how can we fix it. In recent years, one of the most alarming issues of urban agglomerations has been the increasing level of pollution. In this essay, I will present possible reasons and solutions for this worrisome matter using examples from Swedish government, don't forget the here, and Norwegian research to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, that's lovely. Let's keep moving. The central reason for pervasive contamination in large cities might be the growing number of cars, since they're a major source of greenhouse gas emissions and noise pollution. Fortunately, there are a number of options to diminish this damaging development. Firstly, governments can allocate resources to provide viable alternatives to self-driving. It would be wise to expand access to reliable and comfortable public transport and invest in creating an infrastructure for cycling. Secondly, powering buses and trains with 100% renewable resources could immensely improve quality of air. For example, recent studies by the Swedish government have shown that after implementing green policies, IES, in Stockholm, which included electric transportation with at an affordable cost, road congestion careful. So after doing this, road congestion was significantly still awkward. Road congestion has significantly declined. That would be better, not reduced. As a result, noise and air pollution were hugely mitigated. Okay. So you did something really interesting. You decided to do this problem and solution in one paragraph, and that's fine. It can be done, especially when each problem has a very discrete, specific solution to it. So I was okay with this. However, I want to make sure, look at this. So look what you did here. You talked about the problem, but you only had one sentence about the problem. So that doesn't work. You really need to do a lot more about that. You needed to develop the problem portion as well. Okay. Let me see what you wrote. The central reason for pervasive contamination in large cities might be the growing number of cars, since they're a major source of greenhouse gas emissions and noise pollutions. Okay. Yeah, I kind of wanted to have a, let's see. I mean, you could say this is caused by people commuting in and out of the city for work, uh, people relying on individual cars rather than carpooling or taking a form of mass transportation. Um, and as cities grow, the problem only becomes worse. So you had to go a little further, because imagine this. Imagine if you had not done your paragraphing like this, and you had done problems in one paragraph and solutions in another paragraph. This paragraph would have been so tiny it could barely be considered a paragraph. However, I do want to look at the next one and see what else you could have done. All right, so let's look at that. Furthermore, there is a case for management of waste disposal, as densely populated cities produce an abundance of it. Of waste disposal? No, you mean of waste. So you have to rephrase this a little. Furthermore, there is a case for management of waste, as densely populated cities produce an abundance of it. That makes sense. I believe that the answer for a rising number of landfills could be recycling. For instance, Norwegian research has demonstrated that investing in recycling facilities and educating citizens about the process of recovering materials has hugely decreased the quantity of rubbish and soil contamination. Therefore, consistent with this line of thinking is that changing patterns can be achieved without draconian measures. Okay, so Ewelina, the writing here is lovely. It's really nice, but you've talked so little about problems. You've had, like, in both paragraphs, you have one sentence for problems, and then the rest of it is completely focused on on solutions. Now, look at this. This is just to give you a little understanding of, like, the world of IELTS. Hang on, let me just find, where's my mouse? Oh, well, I can't do it. Let me do it like this. So, what are the reasons for this? Question 1. How can this be solved? Question 2. If you look at the band descriptors for task 2, it says covers all parts of the task equally. I think that's under band 7. You didn't do that, okay? you covered a lot about the solutions, but you certainly did not give equal weight to the problems. So these are the kinds of things that you have to understand about IELTS. They want you to kind of treat these things equally. If they ask you two questions, or if there's two sides, or what have you, I mean, not in an obsessive kind of way, but at least in a logical way, you have to answer both, okay, with the approximate same amount of effort and time and space. So that's my issue here. I felt like you definitely did not cover the problems part of it. All right, so to conclude from the arguments and examples given, I firmly claim that doesn't make sense. You don't firmly claim something. You can say I firmly assert, I firmly believe, but not claim. That extremely harmful human activity on the environment may not be hindered by lightning fast change. It is predicted that raising awareness among society will be a key factor in introducing eco-friendly ways of living. Okay, lovely. So, I mean, a lot of this was so great. It read so fluently, great language used. I was very happy with all that. But like I said, for me, task achievement was the problem. I liked the way you organized your paragraphs, but what it ended up doing was it really just did not focus on the problems at all and only on the solutions. All right, let's take a look and see what you do with these cars. The bar charts show sales of 3 brands of cars, okay, in 9 different European countries. Good, you named them. That was smart. Throughout the year 2018. Perfect. The biggest sales of all cars were reported in Hungary at almost 400,000. Good, which was the highest point in the chart and followed by France at slightly above 300. Good. Okay. The remaining. No, where am I? Okay. The fewest quantities of these vehicles were sold in Belgium at approximately 9,000, which was the lowest figure on the graph. Excellent. The remaining countries sold between 100 and 300,000 cars. Perfect. In addition, the preference of brand varied among countries. Ford dominated markets in Belgium and Holland, while in Germany and Italy, hang on, you lost me. Ford dominated markets in Belgium and Holland, while in Germany and Italy, it was the least favorite brand. Italians strongly preferred BMW cars, while the interest in Germany was equally shared between Audi and BMW. All right, you needed data here. It's nice to do it like this, but you still have to include some figures because I have none about the individual car companies at all. Overall, Hungary sold the largest amount of cars, while Belgium sold the smallest number of cars. What about the brand? Tell me which brand you think sold the most. I would say that BMW sold the most in these 9 countries. Okay, so I really like the way you did this, but you still needed more here. You needed to give me some data for the car companies, and it's really not as hard as it might sound. Like what I would do is I would say that BMW sold roughly 100,000 cars in all countries except for Belgium, where it sold a nominal amount. And then I would talk about Ford. Hang on, let me just. There we go. So for Ford, I would say that it's sold the most in Hungary and Holland at around 130,000 each. It sold the least in Germany and Italy. And then in the remaining countries, it sold between whatever this figure is in Poland and whatever like this France figure is. Okay, so that's how I would do it. So great writing, really lovely. I love the way you organized it, but again, it was just kind of weak on detail. So that's, of course, an issue of task achievement. It's going to cost you there. Okay, keep going, keep writing. You're doing great. Take my suggestions, please, and try to incorporate them. So good luck with your next set. I'm looking forward to it.